Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Monday, Money Mondays. Jeff the Wealth Builder here. And when we talk with a dope financial professional each and every Monday, bringing you some strategies, bringing you some game, bringing you some financial information to help you to elevate your wealth and help you to put in a position where we can close the wealth gap here and help you to propel and get to the next level. We got a special guest here, Marlon Proverbs here, a credit specialist. We're going to dive in today with some credit information, some business credit information that can help you to propel and get the funding that you need so that your business will be able to navigate and take advantage of some opportunities as they come your way. What's up, Marlon? How you doing today, bro?
Going on, Jeff? What's going on, baby? How's everything, man? I'm chilling. I'm
Man,
chilling. I'm
you know,
chilling.
it's Monday, man. This is the day we talk to a dope
Oh,
financial professional.
you
We get
know
some
that.
information on some wealth building strategies to help build, develop, and grow your kingdom.
Yes,
So tell
yes.
us a little bit about you, man. How'd you get into this
Ah,
credit game? Tell us how you've been helping some of your clients and give us your little 2 minute story so we'll know why we should listen to you.
all right, all right, all right. First of all, y'all already know my name is Marlon Proverbs, also known as M. Dot underscore the Tax and Credit Jedi. I've been a credit specialist for a while now. I'm grown. I'm raised in Harlem. I was raised up in Harlem world, in the streets of Harlem. Two-parent family, mom and pops. And definitely how I got introduced into this credit game is probably how everybody got introduced. Your name being used on some type of bill that your parents
somebody
probably
got
did.
somebody somebody got some credit in somebody's name, huh?
Come on, bro. You already know how it goes. That's how it goes. That's how I got introduced into the credit game by my name being used on my parents' cable or some type of bill. And to talk a little bit about my parents, they're from Jamaica.
Okay.
So coming to America, understanding credit, they had no idea about credit. So to use my name was the best option. You get what I'm saying? So and then later on in life, I'm originally, before I got into the whole finance game, I was a professional choreographer in the dance realm. So I taught
Okay.
and I worked with like artists like Chris Brown and things in that nature. But
Okay.
let me tell you one thing about the artist world. You're living check to check. So you're pretty much broke after you get paid. So moving forward from that, I had to start doing grown up things, and then grown up things require credit. And yeah, and there you go. That's how I really got introduced into credit, because I had bad credit when I had to get grown up things like a car or an apartment and things in that nature. So I had bad, very, very bad credit or no credit at all. So that's what really made me dive deep into the credit game and really just, I say dance is my love, but credit and finances is my passion, because it's the key to financial wealth. It's the key to financial wealth. It's the key to financial stability, especially credit. And that's really how I really got introduced into the whole credit game. I needed credit to do grown up things, man. And I had bad credit at the time. So
I
I
love
started
it. I love it.
speaking out.
So I was checking out your sweatshirt that says I got ill credit, right?
Credit. Yeah.
So for first generation wealth builders who are maybe just starting out, right? How important is it for you to have good personal credit in laying the foundation for you to build wealth?
Sheesh. How important is it? It's self-explanatory. You need credit for everything. Every little thing, whether it be a car, whether it be a home, or apartment, sometimes a job. Credit is something that it will never leave you. Like I like to call it, it's a grown-up report card. You get a grown-up report card, which is your credit report, and this follows you. This follows you. So this is a key foundation that you need to learn and understand moving forward and building financial freedom. And and building financial stability for you and your family and breaking generational curses. Credit is definitely important. Your personal credit. Your personal credit is the key to everything. It gets you in the door with a lot of places. And
So
I like
what would be some of the first steps in like optimizing, your personal credit so that you would be able to position yourself to be in the best position? Because as you said, you need it for a house, you need it for a car, you need it for a job, you need it when you get life insurance as well.
right.
So like when you talk about optimizing it, like what would be like some steps that a person should be able to take to make sure that they can have the best credit possible?
Okay, some steps. All right, I'm gonna give you some steps that I even give my mentees or my clients and things like that. First step is this: mindset. You got to get your mindset in the game. You got to stop thinking the poor way and start thinking the rich way and get disciplined.
Okay, so pause right there. You said stop thinking the poor way and start thinking the rich way. What's some of the ways of the poor ways that people be thinking as it relates to their credit, and then jump over to the rich way and how you should be thinking about your credit?
I like to say poor way of thinking is saying cash is king and credit is nothing. You get what I'm saying? Everything is about cash. And I hit them with this trivia. Is it faster to save 100K or is it quicker to get 100K in line of credit? Which one is quicker? Which one is quicker? And the poor way of thinking I like to also say is that you have to, everybody has money for a party or something, but when it comes to your stability in your life, that's the poor way of thinking. Rich way of thinking, I'm saying I'm leveraging these things to get to what I have to get to. I'm leveraging my credit and I'm taking these responsibilities to build my credit because I know this credit is going to lead me to long-term future blessings. You like what I'm saying? You understand where I'm going? So the first step I like to say is like let's throw away your mindset, that old way of thinking. Let's think differently. Let's think differently because that's the number one thing. Because I could tell you, yeah, let's go fix your credit, but you could go mess up your credit again by just making these financial mistakes or because you're being too greedy or you want to do this. So you got to learn financial stability. You got to learn financial discipline, I like to also say, and change your mindset. So that's number one. Let's start doing better money management with your money. Let's point the money where, let's stop spending just aimlessly. Let's put the money where it's supposed to be. Let's organize that. Second thing I will say is let's get your credit report. Let's see what's going on in there. You can't fight ghosts. You can't fight ghosts. You know what I'm saying? You can't fight ghosts. It's not Casper. You can't fight ghosts out here. So you got to know what you're fighting. So you got to know what's on your credit report. Some people don't even have credit at all. You get what I'm saying? They never even seen credit or used credit before. So you got to see what you're fighting. So I say pull up your credit report. And last but not least, after you pull up your credit report, put together a game plan. And some game plans I like to just refer to, you could go for secure cards, secure credit cards.
So what's a secure credit card for someone who may not know?
A secure credit card is basically a credit card. I call it a demigod because it's a debit card that works like a credit card. You put your own line of credit on it instead of the bank or the creditors giving you a line of credit. You put your line of credit. You put $250 on that secure credit card, and that's your line of credit. And then you use that responsibly. You get what I'm saying? You spend it on it.
How would that help someone to kind of build their credit profile?
Because it will start reporting your payment history every time. It comes as a revolving credit. When you have a credit card, it comes as a revolving credit. So it's you put back what you use. You put back what you use. You put back what you use. And what you use and what you put back reports to these credit agencies, not bureaus, agencies. So when you're using that payment history and that tactic to start building up your credit, start building your history. because the history is, they like to say it's 35% and everything, but I like to use numbers because, you know, your credit score is between 300 and 850. And between that number, Jeff, between that number, y'all, it's 550 points that's manipulating, that you got to manipulate. So basically what I'm trying to aim at is that you use that 550 and you multiply that by, let's say, payment history, which is 35%, which everybody knows. Your answer should come up to 192 and a half points. So when you know the points to the credit score, that's the payment history is equaled up to that many points to your credit score. So every time you don't pay a bill down, or pay something early, or pay something very late, or you're late on that bill, or it's over, you're dead meat. So, those are the three things: mindset, see what you're fighting, and after you see what you're fighting, put together a game plan.
Okay, cool. So we got mindset, program, and then game plan. All right, that's what's up. And those are some of the three things that you can do to optimize your credit. Now, you mentioned earlier about the secure debit card, and you also mentioned about like repaying what that credit what that card will do. So
Yeah.
one of the things I wanted to know is there, like, if someone was going to take out that secure card, is there like a limit that they would want to stay under, as it opposed
Perfect.
to their limit that they have to it, when it reports to the credit bureau, it'll report like a favorable term for them as far as the repayment agreement or schedule that they're under.
Right. Okay. So yeah, we all know the utilization rate is 30% and things like that. And I always tell everybody, yeah, that's cool and all, but you want to stay under 10. 10 is the sweet spot. 10 is the utilization for 10 is the sweet spot. And again, if you go back to the calculations like I did in the previous thing I said, it's 30% now. You multiply that by 550, 30%. And then you should get about 165, if I'm not mistaken, 165 points to your score. So just remember your utilization when you're using these secured cards or credit cards. You have to, everybody say report, just pay it all off. If you're paying it all off, what utilization they use, what utilization they're reporting. What utilization? They're not reporting anything. You need them to report something. You need that 165 points to go to your score so you could use your credit to go do something else. You get what I'm saying? So you want to stay, when you're using these cards, you have to, I like to say, schedule these cards, automate. Learn to automate your systems. If you have a debit card, let your debit card pay your secured card, whatever it used. And don't go past that 10%. Stay on that, stay disciplined. This is why I say it's about mindset now. It goes back to mindset. Train your mind to start paying, to get this automated, because once you make it automated, it starts to, you forget it. You set it and forget it, set it and forget it. And once you use it and you discipline yourself on how you use it, and you understanding, okay, I'm not going to go over 10. This is only for Netflix and chill. And then I'm only using this for that. You feel me? And I'm paying it back. Now that's a great game plan of how you utilize your credit cards or your secure cards. Don't go over 30%, yeah, but make sure you don't go over 10. And when it's reading, I'm gonna tell you a little secret real fast. Find out the reporting date of these credit cards and secure cards. There's a due date and there's a reporting. We all know the 30th, the 1st, the 15th, and stuff like that. But your reporting date now is when they report the activities to these credit agencies. So you want to find out that. You want to go call these creditors, these banks, and find out that when do you report my activity to the credit agencies? And once you know that, that's part of your game plan. Again, you start creating a game plan with this. So you get the secure. Sorry, go
So
ahead.
so tell us a little bit some of the things like so we concentrate on financial education and we my firm belief is that when you understand what's going on, you'll know what to do. So in your experience, when you're helping someone to fix or repair their credit, like what are some of the things or some of the common pitfalls that you've been seeing that people have been making to put themselves in a jam that they need somebody help like you to help them to get out of it?
Number one, not educated.
Okay.
Number one, they're not educated on how credit really works. That's
Okay.
the number one pitfall. That's one of the key pitfalls of tr- try to educate yourself more on credit, because a lot of my mentees and people I bumped into don't really understand how the credit score and things work like that, and they don't get that. So the pitfalls of that, and on top of that pitfall, is back to what I was just referring, your mindset on the bills and being late on payments and just not and putting your money where in these places that really don't really matter at the end of the day. Sometimes I understand that life happens, life be lifing. Hey, we all know that life be lifing, but you have to stand 10 toes down. You have to stand 10 toes down and stay disciplined when you're in this financial game. So one of the pitfalls I always see is they're not educated, and they put the money in the wrong places. They put
What
the
do you mean
money.
by that?
When I say things like that is what I mean by that is pretty much instead of putting instead of spending, they will spend money instead of using the credit card because they don't know how to use the credit card. So they will spend the money. That's just an example. Instead of using the credit card and then using the money to pay back the credit card to boost your credit. That's just a little example, but most of the common things that I see is either repos, charge-offs, people have collections on their credit. So some of the pitfalls is not paying your bills. So the main, yeah, is just getting involved with that.
So if you had someone who made some of those mistakes, right? So
Hmm.
they, you know, got some latenesses, misappropriated some of their credit,
Hmm.
had some charge-offs, a lot of people are running behind on their bills and paying them on time and doing those things.
Yeah.
They've not gotten the right information in time. So now they got these credit dilemmas and they're trying to improve their credit score so they could be more credit worthy. So as you meet people like that, like what type of advice would you give them if they already have these issues? And we already talked about working on your mindset and getting a plan
Hmm.
together, but
Hmm.
what are some of the things that they can do like right now to kind of like get back on the right path if they have some credit issues?
Right now, to get back on the right path, if they ask them, well, first I will ask them, what are your credit goals? What are
Okay.
your credit goals? What are you
I want to
trying?
get out of credit. I want to get my credit score together. I'm at a 580 right now. I got some derogatory things on my credit report. I had some latenesses. I have some things that I had some late payments. Like, how
Right.
could you help me to kind of like get back on the right track after I made some bad mistakes in the past, and now I recognize what I've done and how important credit is. How can I get back on the right track?
Okay, first of all, I will say, like, again, I'll ask your goal, and you just said that you're just trying to get your credit together and fix your credit and things like that. So then I will take a deep dive into your credit report. We will pull up your credit report. I will look at your credit report and see what's actually affecting your credit, because you just want to attack the things that's affecting your credit, not.
What are the primary things that affect your credit? Like, um, when you're looking at that credit report, what are some of the things you're looking first and foremost for?
Oh, the first things I'm looking for is charge offs and
Okay.
collections. those are the demons of the credit report. Those really
So
lower your
talk a little bit about why charge-offs and or those and what was the other thing you said?
charge-offs and collections.
And
So
collections. Why
yeah,
the charge-offs and the collections the things
so
that you first attack?
because those are basically the creditor reporting directly to the agencies and saying that you did not pay this bill. So by that happening, it totally lowers your credit score drastically, and that basically shows you don't have any credit responsibilities on paying your bills. And this really attacks, really messes up your credit. A lot of people get a lot of collection calls like, "Hey, listen, you owe this," and a lot of us ignore that. But in all reality, that really affects your credit drastically.
So if someone have charge-offs and collections on their account, what are some of the things that they can do to get them off?
Okay, first of all, when you're doing this, when you're all disputing, you want to go look at your personal information. Sometimes your personal information is linked to old accounts that you have on your credit report, and these
Okay.
old accounts now, life, like I said, life be life, and so things be changing. Your job be changing, your address be changing, and hell, sometimes your name be changing. So what happens is that on the credit report, sometimes these agencies even report your name wrong. So you want to pull up your credit report to see your name and these corrections to see if they all have it all corrected. If it's not corrected, that's the first thing you want to come try to go correct. I always recommend people to go call them, find the credit agency's number and call them directly and let them know that, hey, my information is not is not up to par. I need my name to be corrected. This is my job. Sometimes the social is wrong, sometimes the birthday is wrong. You want them all to be corrected. So that's the first thing you want to do. After that, you want to go straight to verifying the debt with the creditor. Don't go disputing with the credit agencies because they're the ones that's receiving it from the creditor. So you want to go to the furnishers, aka creditors, and talk to them and get them to validate the debt that they're chatting about. You see? So
So if I had a Verizon cell phone bill that miraculously didn't pay, the line got cut off 15 years ago. That's on my credit report now. So
mhm.
now you're saying to go right directly to Verizon to have them verify the credit.
Create a dispute letter directly to Verizon and let them know. And I'm gonna just give you a couple of things that should be on the dispute letter that they can't sometimes verify. So sometimes they can't verify that the original documentation, the original signing of the documentation. They could have copies, but the copies don't really add up. I need the original. So these are things that you could put in the letter. Then you also have laws in place, consumer laws in place that you also could use to your advantage and
For
things of that
example,
nature. Um, See, I'm still getting nice with that. I'm not going to say in front. I'm still getting nice with the consumer laws because I come to find that the consumer laws is really a secret weapon, really secret weapon. So as I'm still growing in this credit game, I'm not going to say in front. I'm still growing, and I love to still grow. But you have platforms, you have softwares that also could help you with the consumer laws, and they could help you put these letters together. So.
so we on Monday Mondays. We're talking to Marlon Proverbs is a day that I love on Mondays because we get an opportunity that I get an opportunity to talk to dope financial professionals on wealth building strategies to help close the generation wealth gap here.
Right,
Um,
right.
take a little quick time out to let you guys know that we're having a dynamic 2-day financial education conference April 19th and April the 20th. We're going to teach how to leverage cash value life insurance to not only replace income but also acquire assets such as real estate, stocks, and how we're going to talk about credit at that 2-day conference as well, to help you to get access to more money so you can have more assets that the life insurance will give you permission slip to purchase and be a part of. So that's going to be going on April 19th and 20th in Philadelphia. Make sure you join us. You can go to the website, www.cashvaluewealthbuilders.com, get your ticket. We have some dynamic speakers that are going to be there to help you to grow your money, to help you to protect your money, help you to save your money, help you to grow your money, and help you to be able to position to pass your money to the next generation. So let's get back onto this credit thing, right? Because you shared a lot of information on how to help you on the personal side of credit, but why is it important, or could you explain the differences rather between the business side of the credit
Uh,
versus the personal side of the credit?
uh,
How are they different, and how could you access business credit as well as your personal credit? Because I got some questions on that as it regards, because some things I've been hearing, I want to check for verification.
okay, okay. So first of all, there are two different things.
Okay.
The business credit is backed up by your EIN number. All
Okay.
right. Your personal credit is backed up by your social security number. Okay.
Okay.
That's the first two differences. The next difference is your business credit you get trade lines towards your business. You get business trade lines like Uline, or you get gas cards and things like that. That's how you get it through your business. That's how you grow your business score, your business credit score. There's two different scores. I'm gonna get to that next. Now, back on your personal credit, you get home mortgages, student loans. These are the things that go on that credit. That's your social security. Now, you have a credit score, which is the FICO score or Vantage score, to different models. But for the business now, you get a paydex score. So like I said earlier, your personal credit score, it goes from 300 to 850. Now for your business, the score goes from 0 to 100. All right. So those are kind of like the two major ones. And another one is that a lot of people get it confused when you going to these institutions and trying to get funding and things like that. Um, when you go in there with your business, 9 out of 10 you have to show documentations. You get what I'm saying? This is why your personal credit plays a strong factor when it comes to business credit. For me, I like to say the fastest way to get funding for your business is through your personal credit. But overall, to answer your question, business credit is backed up by your EIN number, and personal credit social security number.
So I'm hearing some things like, I heard something on social media yesterday, and it was like, we could get you $100,000 of business credit and business funding, even if you got bad credit. Is that true?
Oh boy, sheesh. All right, yay and nay. Why I say yay and nay? There are some platforms that will work with bad credit, but the revenue of your business has to be up to par. And a lot of people don't say stuff like this. You see what I'm saying? So you have to give one to take one.
Wait. Revenue of your business. Wait a minute. They were even saying that you could get business funding 100,000, no documentation. How does that work?
That works through your personal credit. I'm
Well,
sorry.
if you got bad,
Yes.
even if you got bad personal credit.
Well, listen. A lot of people be out here commercializing. They be putting together this marketing stuff. I'm not here to sell all of that. I'm here to tell you the real. At the end of the day, if you want that strong muscle to get business funding, your personal credit got to be on point. But
Okay.
I'm not going to lie, there are some platforms that will work with a bad credit, with bad credit. But at the same time, your business has to show some type of revenue, some type of income. And then I'm going to give you a quick play for everybody that's watching real fast. And what I mean by that if you have a job, and this is why your job is very important at the end of the day, especially for entrepreneurs, don't jump out the window. Keep your job. Why I say that is this, because if you open up a business bank account, you could have your paychecks go direct deposit into your business bank account. You could have a portion of that. So now when you go to these institutions, it's showing what, Jeff?
Deposits.
Deposits and income. So this is what I'm saying. You have to get with the right person to give you the right strategies to make the right moves. So like I said, yeah, personal credit. You need your personal credit. It's very important to if you want to get business credit really fast. Personal credit is the key.
So you got the guarantee. So on the personal, so if I'm understanding you correctly, when you going through on the business side,
Mhm.
the personal credit is so important because oftentimes they're going to make you sign a personal guarantee on the business side.
Exactly. It's like I always explain to somebody, it's like your business is a baby going for a car. Mom, dad, this is the personal credit. I need you to sponsor me on this, aka personal guarantee. So your personal credit is the mom and dad to the business. This is why they work hand to hand. Now, like I said earlier, you could create your business has a business credit score that you could leverage, but it takes a while for you to leverage it because you have to get what trade lines. You have to get these things to pay up to actually to build that score up, and then you could go into these institutions, and then you could go in there with just your business because you have a business credit score. But in the meanwhile, 9 out of 10, if you're just starting out and you need funding, which we really need, our culture we need funding. We need funding. We need money to move our business because without money, we can't flow with our business. So at the end of the day, yeah, use your personal credit. I'm sorry.
So you gave some examples on establishing personal credit earlier. What are some examples that someone's listening or watching this can say, and they're interested in building their credit on the business side? What are some of the first steps they should do to kind of build their business profile so they could be attractive or attractable for funding?
Yes, your business has to look like a business. It has to look like a business. If I Google up ABC business, I have to see the business. It has to look like a business. And what I mean by that, you need business address, you need a business email, you need some type of internet presence. That means a website or social media, something showing your presence that you're doing business. You need to put yourself in the 411. You need a business phone number. So the organization of your business, the structure of your business is very, very important. That's the first step of getting business credit, the structure of your business. And another thing that a lot of people don't like to mention, the name of your business.
Why
It
is that
can,
important?
because names are risky. So if I went to a bank and Jeff, I went to you and went to the bank and was like, yo, I'm ABC real estate, or I'm ABC tech or real estate or something like that in that nature. Basically, these companies look like a risk. So your name it can't sound risky. And a name so services, consultant. These names are just general names that could be anything. You get what I'm saying? It could turn into anything. Enterprises. So pay attention to your name. Your name is very, very important. If you
So
look
what
at
kind
the
of things can people do, like to make sure that their name is attractive? As far as, is there some kind of code that they follow on the business side, to see if a lender will look at to see what kind of risk you are as far as what your business is called?
well, again, like I said, just the name. Once they see your name, just like for example, Walmart. You see what I'm saying? Walmart. Read like when you think about Walmart, you didn't it could be anything. it just turned into a place where you go get your groceries or your things like
So
that.
you're saying that businesses that can say anything are more favorable than business that says Jack's Plumbing.
Right, right. Jack's, but go in with Jack's services. See what I'm saying? Now it's a just a general thing. So now it's corporate. It could be corporate. It could be used in any type of sector in anything. If you go with plumbing, if you go like direct or what you do, I'm not gonna say it's gonna limit to what you can get. I'm not gonna say you can't get anything, but it will limit the funds of what you could get. Because if you went in as Jack Plumber, you could probably just get, I'll give you 5K for your business. But if you went as Jack Services, you could probably get between 15 to 25 to 30K, excuse me, in that neighborhood.
So we got a couple of things. You got your address down, you got your telephone number to be findable, you got your name. What else some of the things that business should do to be optimized to get good credit?
Virtual address. Don't forget about virtual
Virtual
address.
address.
Don't forget
Okay.
about the address. Or you could use the register, the agent, the agent register, the register agent, excuse me, address. That's really helpful. Your address is very important. Also, you trade lines. Trade
Okay.
lines. Look for the
So what are trade lines?
trade lines like Uline, Crown. You have business, what is it called? Business T-shirts, I believe. I'm not mistaken, but you have these trade lines that you could look up. I always say, depending on the industry you're in, look within your industry of who could give you lines of credit, business credit, that could give you a net 30 that you could pay back, a net 60, sometimes a net 90. You get what I'm saying? So look for these people that go to their website. It depends on your industry. If you're into tech and you need computers, go to the Apple and look if you could get a net 30 with Apple. These are how you build trade lines. This is how you build your credit, your business credit score, adding trade lines. If you into trucking, car services, and things like that, go get yourself a gas card, like Shells and these things, like those things. If you're into, like I like real estate and things like that, go get yourself a corporate lease. Get a apartment. If you're gonna do Airbnb, get yourself something under your business name. So now when you make these payments, it goes right to your business credit, your business score.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, because I deal with a lot of business owners and real estate investors, and the talk is always about optimizing credit so credit can be available to do their different projects and fund their different business initiatives. So
Right.
if you were talking to a real estate investor or if you was talking to a business owner, what would be some of the things that you already mentioned already, but what were some things that you would add on for those particular types that are in real estate investing and business ownership that they can do to optimize their credit?
So you're saying what can they do to optimize their credit to invest in it, or what strategies they could use credit to get the bag by investing?
So answer both questions because they're two different questions. Could you
Yeah.
could you tackle both of them?
Okay. So
Or as
repeat.
Shannon Sharp would say, can you tackle both of them?
I got you. repeat the first one again, so I
All
can
right. So
tackle that one.
what could a business credit, a business owner, or a real estate investor do to further increase their credit profile so they could get more funding?
Okay. Okay. What can they do to get more funding?
Mhm.
First of all, go to these credit unions. Go to credit unions to try to increase the where you're at. Look at these credit unions. Use the zip code in your area. Use these credit unions and try to see if you could get funding from those more funding from them to start to capitalize to grow your
Why
business.
credit? Why credit unions and not the banks?
See, you have to. It's steps. Credit unions. You have your
Give
credit
me the
union.
steps. Give me the steps. Give the people the steps
I
so they
got you.
know, so they can be on the right path of building, their credit profile.
So you want to attack in a certain way these banks. So you have the credit unions, which is the Navy Federals, the Andrews, the certain credit unions. Then you have your regional banks, which is the Truists and things like that, where you only could find in certain regions, and then you got the big boys like the Chase and stuff like that. So you want to try to tackle them, go in order. So the first people I say to try to get funding for whatever venture you're trying to go into doing is credit unions. Credit unions. So you want to go Google the closest credit union near you, do your zip code and go credit unions near you, and see if you can link up with those credit unions and build a relationship with those credit unions, because everything's about what? Relationships. Everything is about relationships. So you want to build up your relationships with these credit unions so you could get the funding. And after you go from them, then you start working your way down to the big boys, because as you could see, they're going to give you funding that you're going to basically build a relationship with them and pay back, obviously. Then you could go to them, then you go to the region, then you could go to the big boys. So I say to get more funding, start with credit unions, go to the regions, and then go to the big boys.
So how can they use the funding to kind of elevate their business profiles and real estate profiles to maybe take on bigger projects?
I always say invest into cash flowing things. Invest in cash flowing things. So in real estate is automatically a cash flowing thing. We already know that. So when you're doing these things, leveraging your credit and leveraging your business credit, go into cash flowing objects. Like, okay, get the real estate that's gonna produce the cash to pay back the credit so you could go back to get more funding to go into something else, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Now for
We call
business,
we call we call that arbitrage in our business. You want to be able to make more money on the asset that you're purchasing than the loan interest that you're paying. And that different in the spread of that is called the arbitrage, which you want to utilize to keep and then rinse and repeat that cycle that you can be able to do that in. So do you see any concerns or anything on the horizon um, um, of credit actually drying up?
credit drying up. No, I say no, but I also say yes. Why I also say yes, Marlon? Why you say yes? I say because the more our culture gets involved with this finances, and the more wiser we get with credit, taxes, life insurance, trusts, businesses, stocks, real estate, the more we get educated on that, this is what's going to happen. They're going to just keep they're going to just keep. So that's why I say yes. But I
No,
also,
no, 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 no. So what do you mean when you say all that?
what do I mean when I say all
Yeah,
that?
what do you mean when you say that? Is the more as a culture get educated on credit, on asset purchasing, on real estate, on life insurance, or getting trust to protect your assets?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean a gap? What do you mean? What do you
They
mean?
mix what I mean by that, not to cut you off, sorry, but what I mean by that is they make it a little bit harder. Every time we get smarter or educated, they make the process a little bit challenging or harder.
Why? Because we getting into it? No, say it ain't so, bruh. Say it ain't so.
I'm
So
just
you
the
mean to tell
messenger.
me as more of the culture changes, the rules change because of
Yes.
the people that are involved in the culture?
Yes. The more we get involved, the
Ah,
more we start moving into wealth.
it ain't so.
The more we start moving into wealth, I'm gonna give you an example. Where did this BOI law come out of nowhere? Where you have to now register your business, you have to do this report. And if you don't register your business and file this report, you're going to owe $500.
So you mean to tell me that they put that rule in place because more blacks started businesses last year,
Come on.
or since
Since the pandemic.
COVID, since the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic, than any
Yes.
other race of people? So
Come
now
on.
that they are, so really, they don't do those kind of things in
Listen,
America.
if I'm lying, I'm flying.
Come
I'm lying,
on,
I'm flying.
Marlon, you're pulling my leg, Marlon. They
If I'm
don't
lying,
do
I'm
those.
flying.
Come on,
I'm
Marlon. They
trying to
don't
tell
do those
you.
kind of things.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It's the more we get more financially aware, the more we. Wow. Look at what they did to Black Wall Street. Look what they did to certain people. Look at the redlining. Look at the Jim Crow. Look, the list goes on. The more we get wise, the more we get smarter, the more we get that bag, the muscle. Come on, bro. They make the fight even rougher. So at the end of the day, like I'm trying to say is get in the game now. Learn what you gotta learn now, because one thing for sure and two things for certain, they put rules and regulations that they even have to follow. And like I like to use this, a lion is never gonna tell a gazelle how to get away. You're my lunch. I'm not going to tell you how to get away. But if you figure out a way to get away, it's on you. So in other ways, if you figure out their game and you learn the game, they can't stop you from playing the game. Feel me?
So you
Sorry.
mean I'm gonna break this down. I'm gonna break this down
Joe.
on my way. I'm gonna break this down on my way now. So you mean to tell me that they want to keep you dumb so that they can make profit off of you?
Facts.
So the smarter you get, the more you get in the know, the more you start to financially grow.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that part.
You
So
stop.
that's why they never teach you this financial education in schools,
Come
because
on,
they
man.
want to keep you dumb, because the dumber they keep you, the more money they make off of you.
Right.
So
come on.
and that's why it's important that people got to understand what's going on with their money so they can start to know what to do. That's why you got to start to understand how the credit game works so you can be able to leverage it to get credit more in your favor. That's why you got to understand how life insurance works, because that's the way that a lot of rich people store and save money for taxes and be able to leverage and be able to pass money on to the next generation. A lot of things that we do not do because we are uneducated. So now we're peeling off layers of the onion here, layers of the onion there, so you can get the right information. So when you understand what's going on, you'll know what to do with your money. And that's going to lead into right what I'm talking about on April 19th and the 20th, where we're going to leverage how to use money and how that you can be in a position to protect more of your money, save more of your money, grow more of your money, pay less taxes on your money, and then pass it on to the next generation, and then be able to enjoy the money while you're still living and doing it. And this all comes down to having the right strategy and having the right financial education. And that's what we're going to be doing April 19th and 20th, 2 days strong, giving information, because information changes situations. So we're going to change a lot of situations by giving the right information, and the right tools and the right strategies that you can use to build, develop, grow, protect, pass your portfolio. So that's the most important thing that we have on the horizon. That's the most important thing that we're doing, is educating our base, because when you understand what's going on, you know what to do. So what other credit lessons or you can share on the personal or on the business side to help people become more informed?
More for what can I help them with? Okay.
He gave us a lot, you know.
Yeah.
He gave us a lot right now, but whatever little things that, little things, little tweaks that people can make on let's do on the personal side first. Whatever little things that people can tweak on the personal side from some of the things that you mentioned before. Now, I know that it's not no cookie cutter thing for everyone, because everybody's credit things is different, and everyone's credit profiles, are not the same. But if you could just do one little general thing that people can tweak to put them in a better position. Like I always say with money, everybody can do with money. If you save money before you spend money, you will always have money. That's a universal law when it comes with money. and when it comes to wealth building, when it comes to planning, is there any kind of universal law kind of thing in credit, as instead of the obvious pay your bill on time?
I discovered a universal law, OPM, other people
People's
money.
money.
That's the universal law. That's what credit is here for you to leverage other people's money.
Right, now that's on the personal side. Anything on
That's
the business
on the
side?
personal side, use it. On the business side, see, real fast, I know as business as entrepreneurs starting out, we have a bunch of ideas. Granted, we have t-shirt ideas. I want to start a record label. I want to do whatever. I get it. I get it. But I need you to understand something, y'all. They 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 spoon fed us entertainment. So the first line of business you're trying to create is something entertainment. I'm saying this, and I've been saying this to a lot of my mentees lately. I know you have a great business idea, but start looking at cash flowing businesses, aka assets, acquisitions. Look for businesses that's already running or businesses that's recession proof. You get what I'm saying? Look for those businesses. So when you're starting a business, and I know you have your dreams, and I'm not telling you dead your dreams, I'm just telling you start a for sure business that's going to cash flow for you to create your dream. Utilize that business money to leverage another business money to leverage another business money. So as business owners going into using business credit, leverage your business credit, leverage your personal credit to get your business funding. But most importantly, go buy an asset or funding or some cash flowing business.
So where are these cash flowing businesses are? They on some trees somewhere? You can just come pluck them down.
Nah,
Where
nah.
they at?
You have if you're into e-commerce, you have websites like Flipper and things like that. I believe that's the website. You have if you're into e-commerce, if you into they have buy sell business biz.com where they offer where you could see businesses and things like that. You could see what business suits you and then you could leverage your credit to do that. You have ATM businesses, you have um what's the vending machine businesses are very popular, very good. Storage units, laundry mats. These are kind of like businesses that you could that's safe. That's safe. You know what I'm saying? You don't really need too much marketing, you don't really need too much stuff. You just get the cash and you double up on that cash, if that makes sense.
All right, cool. I got one more question for you.
Talk to me.
And then we're gonna close this out. Thank you for being a guest here on Money Mondays, where we talk to dope financial
Thank you
professionals,
for
giving
having
them some wealth, building secrets and strategies to close the
Thank you
wealth
for having me.
gap here in America. So check this out. So if we looking ahead and things that you've been looking at in the credit space in the credit education space, like is there any kind of emerging trends as it relates to funding, as it relates to growing generational wealth that first generation wealth builders, real estate investors, business owners could kind of like have to kind of stay ahead of the curve of what's coming down? Is there anything that you can share with them, like what's coming down the pike, how they can position themselves, that it can help them to kind of leverage and go to the next level?
What can they leverage to go to the next level? Um, that's a good question. Because things are constantly changing because they do these they got new FICO scoring and things in that nature but
Could you touch upon that a little bit? Like, what's the new FICO scoring? Like, what is that all about?
FICO A3 they have like new scoring, so lenders mostly use I think FICO 8 if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, please somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. I love learning, But regardless of anything, like you have the new models, and it goes back to what I was just saying before. Like every time we're trying to move forward and grow and get educated, just always know that it's something always. It's a dollar on a string. You know what I'm saying? So you always want to be on top of the game. Please, please, most importantly, assets, assets, cash flowing assets. Invest in these assets. Use your credit wisely. Invest in these assets, and just rinse and repeat. That's the best advice I could really give. Just rinse and repeat. If it worked the first time, it's going to work the second time. You know what I'm saying? So, hope that answered that question.
So if you have, I got a couple more. We got a couple
Yeah,
more minutes.
we do.
We got about 5 more minutes before we got to sign off. I got a couple fun questions. Like
Yeah.
if you had, if you had money, if you have business funding, right,
Hmm.
that you can use that business funding to sit with any financial tycoon, who would you use that business funding to have that meeting with, and why would you? What would you want to talk to them about?
Wow. Nobody ever asked me that question. But when you said it, the first person that came into my mind is honestly E.T., the hip hop preacher.
What
Um,
would you want to talk to them about? Why ET, and what would you want to talk to them about?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Why E.T. is because when the pandemic happened, real quick, when the pandemic happened, it kind of put me into like a dark space, especially with the whole, that's when this whole credit and taxes and everything I really started like, yeah, because the world shut down. I only knew entertainment, I only knew dancing. I performed, I taught classes, I did things, and everything shut down. And why I say ET is because I listen to ET every day, every day, every day, as a motivation, as a motivation, as a motivation. So for most importantly, I want to meet him to say thank you. Thank you. God bless you, bro. God bless you. And if you could hear this or if you ever see this, yo, thank you. You really got me where I need to be to in the mental headspace. So I would say definitely thank you, and I will just ask him. It's hard to when you get in those positions. It's hard to ask. There's so much
Come on, you
questions
got to
to
have a
ask.
question for him. Come on now.
Man, um, how do you
You say
stay
thank you,
disciplined?
ET.
I
You helped
was.
me. You say thank you, ET. You helped me to get through one of the darkest places in my life. But now I got a question for you. And then you answer the question. What
And
would
then,
it be?
and my question will be, how do you remain so 10 toes down and disciplined to maintain what you have? Because you have to have some type of discipline to maintain what you have, because you could lose what you have at any given moment with any mistake. So if I went to them, I'll say, thank you, ET. I love what you, I love you. Thank you for everything you do. God bless you. I have a question for you. My question is how do you stay disciplined and keeping what you got? Once you get it, how do you keep it? How do you stay disciplined to keep it? So
Wow, I bet you he would. He gonna probably hear this, and he gonna do a segment just for you, Marlon,
probably,
on that. Because
probably.
I think that will benefit so many people. And because I was watching Dion the other day,
Hmm.
and Dion has a lot of wisdom in him. He drops a lot of nugget bombs, I call them. And
Hmm.
one of the things he's talking about is about practice, you know what I mean? And about being in a thing where you have to have the discipline to go hard and practice as if practice was the game. So when the game comes easy because you've already practiced every scenario that can happen in the game. And he was talking about how that's how he became so great, is because you couldn't throw anything at him that he never saw before because he always practiced. So practice as if the game was already planned, prepared him and positioned him that he can dominate in the games that he played in because he had already practiced those scenarios over and over and over again. So that was
Right.
one of the big things that that I got out of that, and one of the things that I'm indoctrinating in the things that I'm doing is just about
Word.
practicing how you play. So when it's time to play, you're already going to win because
Word.
you've already played, you've already practiced the game already. Especially in this money thing, because there's a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
that's happening in the money space that if you just develop some simple financial habits, you'll automatically win the game by default. And a
Fact.
lot of people just doesn't have the discipline to maximize or manage the money that's coming in under their management, and that's why they're getting into so many problems. That's
Yeah.
why we see the numbers that most Americans don't have $1,000 saved to handle an unplanned emergency. I just read a latest report that says 37% of people making over $100,000 are living paycheck to paycheck. Like when you
Sheesh.
read those kind of things, you're like,
Sheesh.
what is going
Going
on?
on.
And it comes back down to discipline, what you're doing with the money that's coming in under your management. So I took some great things out of that, and hopefully I can be a great teacher going forward by learning, by practicing behind the scenes, so I could be
Facts.
better, you know um as I progress in this. I mean, we're 15 episodes in right now, and
Word.
sometimes I feel like I don't know what I'm doing.
Word.
Sometimes I don't know, but I'm going to go back and still practice, right? Because
Yeah.
my goal is that
Yeah.
every time that we have these Money Mondays, they get better and better and better and better, so we could bring more value to more people and help to change more financial lives as we give financial education to be impactful, to help them to kind of get to the next level, elevate their life, and kind of live life financially on their own
Facts.
terms. That's the whole
Yeah.
name of the game of what we're doing.
That's a fact.
Um,
Yeah, that's a fact, man.
one other thing I want to, just a little fun question before we close out.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
money wasn't an option, right, and you had enough money to do whatever you wanted to do with it, right, what would be the most outrageous fun investment that you would make?
A whole year in a beautiful island with my family, with my mom, my brothers, and everything is on me. They don't have to worry about plane trips.
Nothing.
They don't have to worry
Oh,
about we there for the whole year. Like suntanning, bathing, doing family reunions. My whole my immediate immediate family, the family that I grew up and I could touch. Yes, yes. If I could take, yeah. If money was not even an issue, yeah. Because I'm a family oriented type of guy, bro. Everything I do is to pass it down to my bloodline, so they don't have to worry about nothing, man. And
awesome, awesome, awesome.
yeah, my parents being from Jamaica, they didn't really know nothing. So it's really, they tried their hardest and they did what they could do to definitely secure the
Well,
bag.
they don't teach this anywhere, man. So
Nah,
a lot of things that we do is by trial and error. So that's why we want to make sure we get the right education out there, so people can start making better informed decisions with their money, better informed decisions on how to protect their personal credit, better informed decisions on how they can build their business profile so they can have access to more credit. So these are the things that we're teaching. These are the things that we want to position our people and our clients to win. So thank you, Marlon, for being here tonight. I know we
thank
went
you,
over a
Jeff.
little bit. Thank you for being on this Mondays episode 15, brother. Have a
Thank you.
great and a fantastic day.
You too, my brother. Peace, love, and light to you, man. Thank you, Jeff.
Till next time, we'll see you again.
Absolutely.